Bane Rants, RottenTomatoes.com. Normally, I do not have a problem with RottenTomatoes.com at all. Normally, I agree with pretty much everything they have up there. However, searching through it a little bit, I have found a few glaring flaws, if I may say so. Now, general consensus for the whole site is pretty much the same as you can see through this stuff like Pan's Labyrinth, Shaun of the Dead, 28 Days, Twilight. It's pretty much the same given the critic ratings and the fan ratings. But there are a few things that I've been looking through that really confuses me. For example, I was looking at Pirates of the Caribbean and decided, well, why don't we see what the rating for Pirates of the Caribbean 2 is? 53%. 53. Seriously. For the Team Eater critics, the people who you at first see and give you the general idea of how good or how bad the movie was. Okay, well, obviously they have to be right. Wait, the RT community says 76%? But that's over a 20% difference. That can't possibly be right. Well, why don't we look at another one? Let's 48% versus 68? Oh my lord. Let's try something else. 46 versus 64? Oh, okay, that 58 versus 85. Okay, well, you see, there are some movies that critics and fans really don't agree on. Now, looking at these, I can see why the critics are giving some of these movies low ratings, but to put the critics first instead of the community, the people who actually buy these movies and like them and tell you how they feel instead of giving, well, the visuals were amazing and the story was great, but I just didn't happen to like this actor and he didn't do as well of a job in his last movie, so I'm gonna have to give this movie a failing rating. That's the first thing you're gonna see when you look at a movie on RottenTomatoes.com. You don't see what the fans like. You see what the critics like. Now, let's look at another named example. The Polar Express. The Polar Express was not the best movie around, but it wasn't the worst movie around. I mean, here's another problem with RottenTomatoes.com. Anything below 60 gets a splatter rating, which doesn't exactly seem fair to me. But when you look at the RT community, they're giving it a 70%. That's a pretty nice big difference there. But the thing that bothers me is the consensus summary. Though the movie is visually stunning overall, the animation for the human characters isn't lifelike enough. Isn't lifelike enough! Did you happen to not look at the bonus features where they put on motion capture suits on real people? Yeah, they put motion capture suits on them so they would be as lifelike as possible. Sounds like a few of these critics didn't do their homework. Now, the last big thing that makes me a bit angry about Rotten Tomatoes. You can see reviews from people who matter to the actual tomato rating, where it says no review available. So they're just giving it a fresh or a not fresh rating, and you don't get to see why. Or they don't really have to give a reason why. Well, look at this one. Look at it gives it a fresh rating. That can't be all that bad. It's not like you can give it a splatter rating and oh my god, you can give it a splatter rating and not explain why. That's just not right. And looking at the percentage, okay, you're not getting, oh, we liked this movie, but other people might not. You're not seeing, we didn't like this movie. You're not seeing, well, the movie was decent. You're seeing, out of 100%, you get this much. If it's below 60, it's a piece of crap. That sounds very nice. That sounds very nice indeed. Now, I'm not saying RottenTomatoes.com is bad. I'm saying it has flaws. Some of them more obvious than others. But I wouldn't have this much of a problem if they'd clean it up. I mean, the least they could do is give you the option to choose whether or not you see the critics or you see the community rating first, or if you had the option to see the reviews versus the rating, or if they changed their rating system from below 60 it's a splat to below 45 or 50 it's a splat. Overall, RottenTomatoes.com is just pissing me off.